Hi there, it's Guy with Do Yoga With Me, and today we're offering a class on stretching and strengthening. This is part of the Men's Yoga Challenge, but can be done easily as a standalone class as well. In this class, I'm focusing in on how to stabilize and mobilize the various joints of your body. So a great introduction to the yoga practice, and I hope you enjoy this class. See you on your mat. All right, welcome to stretch and strengthening. This class is all about stabilizing and mobilizing the different joints of your body. The basic idea here is that before we get into bigger movements or lifting heavy things and so forth, it's a good idea to both stabilize those parts of the body that need to be stable and mobilize those parts that need to be a little bit more flexible or mobile. So interestingly, as you move up the body, stability and mobility vary as you go up the body. So what we want in our foot, lots of stability. So it's stability of the foot, mobility of the ankle. We want to be able to move our ankle around. Stability of the knee, we don't want it to wing around too much. You know how many knee injuries happen. Mobility of the hip, and then stability through the spine. Mobility of the shoulder, stability, mobility, stability, sort of like that. So it alternates all the way up the body. And so we need to do different things depending on which joint or part of the body that we are looking at. And that's my intention today, is to sort of work through the different parts of the body and offer you some ideas about how to both stabilize and mobilize different parts of your body. So we'll begin in a standing position, and we're going to consider your spine. So the spine is really the central focus of most of the yoga poses. So we'll begin in that place. The spine, just so you know, it's made up of the sacrum, which intersects with your hips, the lumbar spine, low back, thoracic spine, the rib cage, and the cervical spine, your neck. And just like the rest of the body, the sacrum offers stability, lumbar mobility, thoracic spine stability, and the neck mobility. So generally what we do in the yoga practice is to warm up the entire spine as one unit, and we can play with that a little bit. So bring your feet nice and tight together, and as you inhale, bring your hands all the way up overhead. Now, interlace your fingers and point your index fingers. Your elbows could be bent or your arms could be straight. Really kind of depends on the mobility of your shoulders here. And to wake up the spine, we move it in 6 different directions. The first direction is a side bend. So as you inhale, reach up. As you exhale, bend over to your right side just a little bit and begin to sense into the stretch that you're creating on the left side of your body. So there's an elongation here, and what we want to do is to stabilize, particularly into the intercostal muscles on the left side of your torso. The right hand can be pulling a little bit, and what we're doing is we're creating an arc through your spine and trying to just open up those different vertebrae and create a bit of strength and structure through the spinal column. That's a side bend. And then inhale, come up and settle. Again, you could point your index finger. You notice I was doing something a little different on the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale over to your left. And now you're going to sense in through the right side of your body an elongation. Feel a sense of engagement through the side ribs there. And just kind of tug into that a bit, opening up the side of the body. Nice. Inhale to come up. And exhale, bring your hands back down. So that's 2 movements. There's forwards and backwards bending. We'll do that next. As you inhale, you can bring your hands up and interlace your fingers behind your back or behind the back of your head. And here, I want to send your hips forwards, lift your chest up, let your head drop back, and continue this action of squeezing your legs together, hips forwards, chest up. And there's a little bit of pressure into the hands and the back of your head as you lift your chest up. And then begin to squeeze your elbows a little bit more forwards and up, really feeling this nice sense of elongation through the upper chest It's called a back bend, but mostly it's opening the front side of your spine. Nice. And then inhale to come up. Bend your knees a little bit and begin to tuck your chin and round in. Now we're rounding through the back of your spine. Elbows move in. We're just going part way down, not going too far. So this is a forward bend or forward roll of the spine. Engage muscularly where you feel that stretch. And then inhale, come up. And exhale, bring your hands back down. The last two movements of your spine are twist in each direction. So inhale your hands up overhead. And exhale, simply twist off to the right. So your right hand moves back, left hand stays forwards. You're trying to stay nice and proud through your upper chest. Maybe even gaze to the back hand. This offers a bit of a twist through your neck as well. Nice. And then inhale both hands overhead. And exhale, twist to the left. Good. Inhale both hands up. And exhale both hands down. Nice. So that's the spine. Now let's begin to move through the different joints of the body. So the next area of focus is your foot and your ankle here. So the foot, we want to find stability. The ankle, we want to find mobility. So there's the two different things that we need to achieve here. To achieve stability in your foot, I find the easiest way to do this is to really spread your toes. So focus on your right foot. Spread your toes. Press your foot down. Feel the arch of your foot lifting a little bit. And the big toe mound of your right foot pressing in. Also, try to dial your foot a little bit away from you. So toes move away from you. You'll notice there that brings a lot of structure also even into the hip. But this gets your foot stable and rooted on the floor. So active foot, also known as monkey foot, can be very useful when you're practicing yoga. So try that just to find that sense of activation in the right foot, arch lifting, foot pressing down, dialing away from you. And then try that on the left side. Just spread your toes, press the left big toe mound down, feel the arch lifting, dial the toes away from you. You'll feel a sense of true engagement, like a grip in the floor, monkey foot. And that's great for finding balancing poses or poses in which we've got opposing positions in the legs. So remember that. We'll come back to that. As far as the ankles, let's work on getting a bit of ankle strength. So V your feet out into a V shape. Press your big toe mounds into the mat. Squeeze your heels together. Again, the feet are trying to dial away from one another a little bit and come up. Squeeze those heels together. Push your heels forwards. This is called basically an ankle lift. And notice I'm even wobbling in this shape. We'll try it again. So inhale, come up. Press your heels forwards. Exhale, come down slowly. Just up and down like that. Building ankle mobility. And the way we build mobility is by engaging muscles as they stretch. You may notice your calf muscles engaged here. So fire up those calf muscles as you're lifting. Heels a little bit more forwards. One more time. Inhale to come up. Heels forwards. This is hard. And exhale. Heels back down. The other way to do the ankles is to turn your toes in, heels out, and bend your knees a little bit or a lot. This is called goat pose. So you know how goats walk up the mountain nice and strong. So your feet are pressing down. They're trying to dial away from one another. You're bending your knees and getting a significant stretch through the back of the calf muscles here. Again, to create the mobility we want, engage the calf muscles strongly as you feel the stretch. Very useful to find that, I guess, the mobility that we're looking for in the ankles. Ankles tend to go as you get older. You see these people walking around like they don't even have ankles. We want to keep them nice and supple as we grow older. Slowly come back up. And just square up the feet, give them a little shake, release any tension that may have arisen there. And now the knee, stability. So stability, mobility, stability. We want to build stability in the knee. How do we build stability? We create muscle strength across the joint in question. So again, hands on your hips. We'll take that right leg back, right big toe mound pressing into the mat, and find this place where it feels like your legs are squeezing towards one another. The front foot is monkey foot, is trying to dial away from you a little bit. Back big toe mound, nice and strong. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Drop your knee just about to the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, down. Again, up and down. Feeling that muscle awareness around the muscles of the knees. Up. Let's do it one more time. Down. And then up. And step to the front of the mat. And pause, noticing the sensation of the muscles around that knee. Other side, left leg back a little bit. Right foot's pressing down, monkey foot, so it's dialing away a little bit. Little bend in the back knee. Bend it down just about to the mat. And then rise up using lots of muscle strength around that left knee. I know I've had knee issues in my lifetime, and actually these kind of movements have certainly made things a lot easier for me. So just up and down, keeping that structure around the knee. Nice, and then slowly rise up and step forwards. Again, little shake. And let's just see if that's working. So we're going to challenge our balance now. We'll start with the left foot, monkey foot, little bend in the knee, and bring your right ankle up on top of your left knee. This is called standing figure 4. Sit your bum down. You can keep your hands on your hips, or you can bring your hands up towards you and sit into it, trying to create the strength in your left knee here. Then you can move a little bit up and down to really test your strength there, your stability there. Right foot's active, knee joints nice and strong. Nice, and then stand up, hands down. Try the other side. Bouncing on your right foot, a little bend in your knee. Foot's pressing down, dialing away from you. Left ankle comes up. Sit down. Make sure that foot is stable. We've got stability in the foot, mobility in the ankle, stability in the knee, a little bounce up and down perhaps to challenge yourself to build the structure around that knee. So important, especially if you've done soccer and things like that. Nice. And then slowly rise up and bring your foot back down, a little shiggle, a little shake. Hips comes next. So hips, traditionally a very cranky joint, and we want to build a little bit more mobility, a bit more range of motion through the hip. Again, to build mobility, we take the joint into range of motion and fire the muscles up. This teaches your body where it's safe, and it can get a little bit more expansive or open as we progress. So let's challenge your hips a little bit. Take your feet fairly wide, toes out, heels in, and we'll just bend your knees down so that your shins are more or less perpendicular to the floor from every direction. And just rise up and down a few times. So let your knees bend, and then as you rise up, fire your glutes, feel your lower abdomen draw in. We're working the muscles that support the hips, so from the legs to the low back actually, are the muscles that are supporting the hips. So building muscular strength around the hips will actually give you greater mobility, is the idea here. And it's not just yanking our body into some extreme range of motion and hoping that we can sustain that. It's actually building strength at your range of motion that will give you those flexibility gains that you're looking for. Cool. And then just pause, square up your feet, Maybe jump to the middle of your mat. And continuing in with the theme of the hips, we're going to try and balance on our leg again, and this time attend to our hips. So again, we got monkey foot on the left foot, and bring the right knee up nice and high. If you wobble on that foot, put your right foot back down, find that engagement, and start again. So we want to have a good solid foundation before we move into our poses. So right knee up, hold your right knee with your hand, flex your right toes back towards you, and take your hip out to the side. So here we're taking our hip into an end range of motion, and we want to be able to sustain this. So fire up the muscles where you're feeling that sensation of stretch. Like you shouldn't even need to be able to use your hand. So keep the muscles engaged in and around the area that's being used to keep the leg lifted. Nice. That's a yummy stretch. Knee forwards, foot down, and release it. Again, the other side. A little bit of grabbing the ground with your right foot, dialing the foot away from you. Left knee comes up. Left hand holds your knee in place. Draw it up as high as it feels appropriate. A little bit of flexion. Look, I fell down. Try it again. Hold on to that mat with your right foot. Flex your left foot up. Take your knee out to the side. Nice and proud. And really take the knee wide and as high as you can. And see if you can release your hands. Use the muscle to sustain this range of motion. So being able to muscularly engage at an end range of motion actually increases your mobility. Beautiful. Knee forwards, foot down, and a little bit of a shake. Beautiful. Moving up the body here, we've gone foot, ankle, knee, hip. We did the spine. Shoulders comes next. So basic shoulder movements that you will encounter in yoga, and we need to learn how to control, or that the shoulders can go up, down, pretty obvious. They can go back or forwards, and they can twist open or twist closed, open and closed. So we want to be able to create basically we want mobility here. So we want to create a bit of structure around the shoulder in each of those different ranges of motion or types of motion. So I'll offer you a couple here, just so you get a sense of the kind of thing you need to do when you're thinking about your shoulders. Eagle arms first. Inhale your hands up, and exhale, we'll bring your right elbow underneath your left elbow, and then maybe grab your shoulders. That's all. Let's just grab our shoulders. You'll see this pose will come out as hands together, not necessarily accessible in all bodies. Just grab your shoulders as best you can. Pull your elbows down, and you'll begin to sense this elongation or stretching sensation through your upper back. Meet that stretching sensation with a sense of engagement. So keep your chest proud, engage the muscles across the upper back. So we're creating strength in the muscles that support the shoulders by using engagement at this range of motion here. Beautiful. And then let's try the other side. So inhale to release your arms up. And exhale to bring your left elbow now under the right elbow. Grab your shoulders again. Pull your elbows down, lift your chest up. You'll feel that stretch through your upper back. As you feel the stretch, engage muscularly. So really feel those muscles firing up. The notion that yoga is all about turning into a Gumby and just kind of bending and flexing away is, I think, erroneous. We need to build strength in order to create the mobility gains that you're looking for. So really nice and strong through the upper back, building strength and length at the same time. Beautiful. And then slowly again, inhale both hands up. This time drop your right hand down behind your back and use your left hand to hold your elbow. Here we're beginning to focus down the arm. Here you'll feel this in the tricep muscle, so press your hands against your back, the right hand against your back, and you can try to pull this elbow back and a little bit up. So here, the tricep muscle is supporting the shoulder a bit. We want to fire this muscle up into the stretching sensation that we're creating here. So again, this idea of mobilizing through engagement. And then inhale, hands up. Exhale, other side, left hand down, right hand holds your left elbow. Really press your right hand against, or left hand against your back. A little bit of a draw using the right hand, and you'll feel that tricep muscle in the bottom of the left arm. Fire that muscle up. Nice and strong there. Beautiful. And then as you inhale again, both hands up, and exhale. Bring your hands back down. Just to relax the shoulders, you can take your shoulders in a little bit of a loop backwards, loop forwards. Just juice them up a bit. Feels good. And now from here, we're going to get into our hands and our arms. And perhaps a better place to do this is from the ground. So let's just come down onto your knees, sitting down. And from this place, send your right hand out, palm face up. So motions of the wrist, we're going to just focus on that. We're trying to create mobility. So again, mobility is gained by firing muscles at end range of motion. So here we draw our fingers back towards us with the left hand and try to fire up the muscles around the wrist here. Same thing on the left side. So left palm face up. Draw the fingers back towards you and engage muscularly into that stretch. So it's not just stretching without engagement, stretch with engagement. Now let's slowly go into the other direction of the wrist. So palm face down this time, right palm face down, and draw those fingers back towards you using your left hand. Here you're feeling a stretch across the wrist here. Fire up as best you can there. Just going to work into the muscles of the forearm as well, which is good. And then the other side, fingers point down, draw it in, fire up the muscles. And then there's a more subtle movements of the wrist. Whether you're keeping your palm flat, you can take the hand out to the side. You could use your left hand to hold them there, keep the palm flat. And then there's an inner movement of the hand. You can pull the hand in and again engage the outer wrist. Same thing on this side. You can take the fingers away from you, palm flat, engaging through this side of the wrist, or draw them in, engaging the outer side of the wrist. And again, like the shoulders after these movements, could be a little bit funky, so give your hands a little bit of a shake. Fling them this way and that way. Nice. Releasing the tension. From here, bring your legs out front. And let's focus on a little bit of strength into your arms. A little bit more of a challenge. What the heck? We're going to maybe bring our hands into fists. Make sure that the floor beneath you is relatively soft. I got a nice cushy mat here. Bring your hips or your fists right beside your hip bones here. Point your toes, lift your shoulders up, and just lift your bum from the ground, chest up. So finding a bit of strength here through the arms, and then drop your bum back down. Soften for a second. Do that again. Inhale, come up. This time lift your right foot off the ground and breathe. And bring it down, and without dropping your bum, lift your left leg up. Point your toes, breathe. You'll notice that your core is also working here. And then slowly, heels down, bum down, relax. Give it a little shiggle, a little shake. And for the final flourish, just to demonstrate your strength, why not? Press your fist down, shoulders up, lift your bum, drag your bum back a little bit, and then balancing on your fist, lift your feet off the mat. For kind of fun. Party tricks. And then again, shiggle your legs, shiggle your arms, and from here, we're going to simply turn around and lay down on our back and let everything integrate from here. So lie down on your back, draw your knees in towards your chest, give yourself a bit of a hug. And to release any residual tension here, I'll move into figure 4. So right ankle on top of the left knee. We did this one standing, so now we're doing it on the floor. Lift your left leg up and take your hands behind your left leg. Just draw that leg towards you as you nudge your right knee away from you. Just releasing the hips a little bit more here towards the end of the practice. Nice. And then slowly release, both feet down. Might flip-flop your knees a couple times, side to side. And then take it to the other side. Keep your right foot where it is. Left ankle on top of the right knee. Lift the right foot from the ground. Draw that knee towards you. And then maybe offer the hands behind the right leg. And just pull it in. Yeah. Let those hips relax. Give it a good tug. And then slowly both feet down again. Flip-flop your knees again, side to side. And let's take some final hip circles. Hold on to both knees. So same side, knee and hand. And take your hips in a little bit of a circle, or knees in a circle. One direction. And then the other direction. So down the middle and out wide. Nice. And then send both legs, both arms up to the ceiling. It's nice and heavy, just dangle there. Let all the energy of the legs and the arms kind of drip that back down towards the torso. And then slowly, slowly, feet come down, arms down. Extend your feet long. Feet flop open. Palms face up beside the sides of your body. Take a big inhale. And a long exhale. And just remain here for a minute or so, allowing yourselves to relax into the effects of your practice. And at the end of our practice here, just begin to introduce a little bit of movement. Bend your fingers, toes, ankles, wrists. Maybe even roll your neck around. Take a big stretch. And then roll over to one side or the other. And we'll press up from there into a seated position where we can join together and finish off our practice. So today's practice was really all about understanding stability and mobility of the different parts of our body, and knowing that you can bring that into all of the other various poses that you'll encounter in the yoga practice. So just to reiterate, for stability, we want to be nice and active into the area of the body that's stabilizing, so nice and strong with the muscles. For mobility, so where we have like our ankles or our hips, we want to create structure around that, so firing up the muscles into the area of the stretch. So using those two ideas as you go through your practice. From here, exhale, empty your lungs. Take a big inhale. And a long sigh. And thank you for practicing along with me today. I hope you found this useful. Have a great day ahead. Namaste.